Hey guys, Neko here. It's been a while. Today I want to talk about something a little bit more positive than my last video, and I want to talk about patch 7.27b because who doesn't want the opinion of someone who hasn't played Dota in like a million years? I have been playing Dota for like the past 2 months, by the way. It's been pretty fun. Yeah, we'll see if that continues. Okay, so jumping right in. General changes, the following items can no longer be disassembled. Abyssal Blade, Mjolnir, Silver Edge, and Solar Crest. Don't particularly care. I think that's fine. Then quality of life changes for Echo Saber, Veil of Discord, MKB, Orchid. Okay, so Echo Saber can now be disassembled. That's pretty cool. That means you can. No, I don't really see where that's useful actually. I guess that's useful in cases where like you're QoP and you want to buy an Orchid, then you're like, oh crap, I want to buy BKB, and you buy an Oblivion Staff and an Ogre Axe, and then you build an Echo Saber on accident, and then you're sad. Or like Enchantress when you're going if you want to buy an Orchid and Dragonlance as well. And the same thing happens, but not really a big thing. Veil of Discord can now be applied on invulnerable units. That's pretty cool. I mean, I can't imagine there are too many cases where that's super relevant, like Dark Widow, Shadow Realm, and Puck. Phase Shift. I guess this is useful in cases where you have a Yules. I'd imagine in cases like that, you can now be like Zeus and you can Yule someone and veil them as well, and then apply the debuff, and that seems pretty okay. That's a quality of life thing. I can't imagine that's gonna make a difference in too many cases. Um, MKB cost increased by 200. It's pretty relevant. 200 gold is actually like kind of significant, especially since people are buying MKB like in item 1 or 2 on a lot of heroes right now. 200 gold is significant. It's not significant enough for this item to be gutted, but yeah. Okay. Orchid Malevolence, attack speed reduced by 5. Makes sense. Your co-ops and your Nature's Prophets are running Dota lately at high MMR. There are a lot of Orchid buyers, and people are just like forgoing boots and doing the cursed no item Orchid rush, which I never want to see in my Dota personally. So I'm happy to see this get nerfed a little bit. Midas recipe cost reduced from 1850 to 1750. This is interesting because if you recall, in 7.27, Midas was buffed significantly. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, Hand of Midas XP multiplier increased from 185% to 210%. So, in addition to the buff in 7.27b, Midas has gotten a significant amount of love, which is nice, right? Because Necro 1 was considered basically the new Midas, which nobody really likes to see, in my opinion, anyway. Um, okay, hero changes. Abaddon base health regen increased from 0 to 0.5. When I saw this, I was shocked because I had no idea the hero had 0 health regen. Um, that's bad, but it's good that he has some now. I'd imagine this is actually pretty significant. It's a high percentage increase from 0 to 0.5. Miscoil, cast range increased. Okay, that's helpful. Not great. Level 20 talent, 70 damage to 80. Love my carry Abaddon. It's a lot of fun. And then 25 talent, 35 miscoil AoE to 375. Or 340 AoE miscoil to 375. Okay, I mean, like, this combined with the miscoil range is actually an effective 75 plus 35. Yeah, so it's an increased 110 range, or 120. I don't know. Math doesn't matter. That's kind of interesting. I don't think it's relevant, though, or really helpful. It might be, useful in niche situations, but whatever. Um, Alchemist, Unstable Concoction, radius increased from 200 to 250. That's a pretty significant percent increase. That could be relevant in a few cases. So talents, level 20 talent increased from 350 to 400, or plus 350 to plus 400. I'm assuming that means damage, right? Yeah, it's plus 400 damage instead of plus 350. Okay, again, that's helpful. But it's not like amazing. I don't know how I feel about that. Level 25 talent increase from 40 chemical rage regen to plus 50. That is really significant. So that happens every second. So that's gonna, be a lot over the course of however long Alchemist ult is. It's like 15 seconds or 20 seconds or something like that. So this is really significant actually. I don't know. I think you can expect to see Alchemist if you're not already in high MMR pubs. Okay. Ancient Apparition. Ice Vortex mana cost reduced from 40, 60, 80, 100 to 40, 55, 70, 85. Doesn't feel that significant, but I mean, if you're casting Ice Vortex 2 or 3 times per fight, then, this could add up and you might be able to get an extra spell off. Um, in cases where you wouldn't. Level 10 talent increased from 144 or 140 Chilling Touch attack range to 175. Okay. I mean, 35 range is like, it's it's important. I don't know if that's gonna like make or break the hero. And then Chilling Touch damage to plus 70. So they're just basically buffing um, the right-clicking AA, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure. I feel like the right-click AA is already good in some situations. Um, this will just make him stronger in those situations, and I think it's interesting, right? Because like the right-clicking AA kind of takes over games where they don't have a lot of dive in the same way that Sniper does. Um, but he comes online a little bit earlier, I think, and he provides that like anti-heal. I don't know. I think this could be interesting. I think watch out for right-clicking AAs, particularly in the core role. Okay, anti-mage Agi reduced from 3 to 2.8 makes sense. The hero was being seen a lot in high-level pubs. I think he had a pretty good win rate, and when anti-mage has a high win rate, um, in low MMR pubs, that's kind of a concern. Okay, talents, level 10 talent reduced from 10 strength to 9. Cool. Stat nerfs again. Valve thinks that this hero stats are too good. And also this is like not super significant, so I'm glad to see that. Level 25 talent increased from minus 45 seconds to minus 50 seconds. Okay. So they kind of offset the stat nerfs with this a little bit, but I don't know. I would call this a wash in general. Although 3 to 2.8 agi gain is not, it's pretty significant, but it's not enough to gut the hero or anything like that. Arc Warden, base armor increased by 1, good. Agi from 15 plus 2.5 to 16 plus 2.5. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's helpful. The hero needs something right now. Spark rate duration reduced. Okay. Not that significant, but might be in some cases. No, this is actually big because this gives you like a smaller window to gain vision when you're split pushing. I think that's actually important. And also, Spark Rate's cooldown is what, 4 seconds? Yeah, so this means like in those weird situations where you would like spawn a bunch of Spark Wraiths in one snare or one like area, you're gonna get one less. I don't know if that's that big. I'm not worried about that. Okay, level 10 talent change from 6% CDR to plus 350 flux cast range. Okay, interesting. I feel like I would almost always go CDR, but maybe they're trying to make like a supporty like off-roll Arc Warden work. Which I think could work in some cases, right? Because his W is really strong. I think it's his W. It's whatever like the field ability is that blocks damage. I think that can be useful in cases where they have a lot of range heroes. Um, level 10 talent change, 30 attack speed to 200 health. Cool. Okay, so they swapped the CDR between 10 and 15. Cool. That's neat for more CDR. So now his talents are okay. Then level 15 talent changed from 250 health to 50 attack speed. That's pretty significant. That's a pretty good talent for Arc Warden. I think it likes that. Okay. Axe Culling Blade kill threshold increased from 250, 325, 400 to 250, 350, 450. Any extra damage that Axe gets on the kill threshold is really significant because that's more effective damage than just increasing the damage of the ability, if that makes sense, because it's not reduced by resistances or anything like that. Okay, so talents, level 10 talent, change from 8 strength to 25 attack speed. Great. I would consider that a nerf personally, but okay. 15 talent, change from 35 attack speed to attacking procs counter helix. Interesting. So that's good combined with the level 10 talent of attack speed. Level 20 talent, change from attacking procs counter helix to plus 150 Culling Blade threshold. Okay, that's significant. That's like level 20 is a really big power spike for Axe. That combined with You'll probably be level yeah, you'll be level 20 around when you have the increased um, culling blade damage as well. So that's pretty significant. Okay. Yeah, so Axe is a really strong power spike at level 20. Well, all right. Bane, base attributes reduced from 23 to 22. Okay, that's fair. I mean, Bane has always had like the most insane base stats in the game for any support. Mana cost increased from 90 to 160 to 110 to 170. Cool. Again, I like that. Bane's early game is a little bit too strong in my opinion. Level 15 talent increased from plus 7% spell amp to plus 9%, so that's offsetting the nerfs a little bit. They want to make him a little bit of a stronger spellcaster. And then 20 talent, 40 movement speed to plus 30. That's really impactful actually. So Bane's role later on in the game is usually like some kind of catch or some kind of save, both of which are completely dependent on positioning. So 10 movement speed, in addition to the stuff you get from items and like your base stats, is huge when it comes to positioning. So this is quite a big nerf. Bane is obviously still really good. He's still going to fulfill his role, but this puts more of the onus on Bane to position very well. Okay, Batrider agi gain increased from 1.5 to 1.8. Sticky Napalm turn rate slow reduced from 70% to 40, 50, 60, 70%. Okay, so that's a pretty strong nerf for Sticky actually. I'm glad to see that. I feel like Sticky level 1 is too, for like the value that you get from, what is it, 20 mana, 15 mana? Yeah, 20 mana. You got before a 70% turn rate reduction, which just like automatically translates into CS lost. It shouldn't in a vacuum where like a player is just perfect and they account for their turn rate increase and they're able to like steer their hero appropriately to get into CS. But as it stands right now, even the best players will lose CS because of Sticky. And this like offsets that a little bit, which is nice because it's just too easy to be able to like Sticky someone and you don't lose a lot for it at all. Okay, Flaming Lasso secondary target range increased from 450 to 550. Okay, so that's just for Aghanims. Yeah, Flaming Lasso Scepter. Okay, yeah. I don't care. I mean, that's like cool. It's helpful because his Axe is kind of bad, but maybe this is good in cases where like you're against a bunch of brawlers as Batrider. You don't want to be in that case a lot, but I could see this being okay. Batrider does like building stats. Okay, level 15 talent change from plus 2 seconds flame break burn duration to plus 5 sticky napalm damage. Cool. I don't care. 25 talent increased from minus 8 seconds flame break cooldown to minus 10 seconds. That's pretty significant. Flame break is a strong spell, and it's good for interrupting abilities and stuff later. It's good for just like repositioning enemy heroes. That's pretty big. That makes his like in team fight pretty strong. I also don't know what the cooldown of flame break is.
If you don't ride into battle,
So you have a
you
5-second
don't ride at all.
flame break if you get that talent later on, and you'd be giving up plus 6.5-second firefly. So okay, I think the flame break talent is quite good. I like that. Beastmaster, hopefully nerfs. Call of the Wild Boar mana cost increased from 50 to 60, 65, 75. Great, love it. Wild Axe's mana cost reduced from 80, 85, 90, 95. Okay, to 80. So they want Beastmaster to throw axes more and cast boars less, which I'm totally fine with. I don't like how this hero basically just has like one mode currently. It feels like the hero just like throws boars at people with necro units and he like runs at your tower and there's basically zero counterplay if you don't kill him. Um, I don't love it. I don't love that style, but I think it would be cool if he had more of like an axe focused build available to him, just because that skill shot is very unique, and the spell is really unique, and it like breaks trees and stuff, and that's interesting, and it creates like dynamic situations in Dota. Whereas I don't think pushing waves is like the most interesting thing for a hero to do on its own. But okay, so level 15 talent changed from minus 14-second hawk cooldown, wow, to plus 200 hawk vision. Okay, that's pretty good, but minus 14-second hawk cooldown is amazing. So I'm surprised they got rid of, or I'm not surprised they got rid of that. But the hawk vision is also pretty good. I'd imagine in cases, there are some cases where this 200 vision like allows you to see like past an extra choke. So like maybe radiant bottom jungle, um, near the high ground. I think you might be able to see like two high ground ramps from there. I don't have a map open, so I can't really explain that, but whatever. Okay, level 20 talent increased from 400 to 450 health. Don't care. Level 25 talent. This is actually shit. This is so bad. Level 25 talent increased from 80 wild axes damage to 100. Um, okay, so the wild axes damage is actually like it's damage per axe, right? So it's an increase of 40 if you hit both, which you should try to. I don't know. Also, when I said level 20 talent is shit, I mean like the buff is shit. Like it doesn't matter. 50 health is so negligible once you're level 20. But I almost think the wild axes talent is like less relevant. I mean, I guess that no, that combined with the damage amp that you get per stack. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't know if you're ever gonna take that over. What does he have? The 20 inner beast attack speed. Maybe in cases if you're playing like I don't know support caster beastmaster. I don't know. I don't think this is amazing, but maybe it is, right? Maybe if you get like a medallion and throw axes at people, then you do a million damage with the amp. Yeah. Okay. Bloodseeker int increased from 18 plus 1.7 to 21 plus 2. Okay, that's helpful. He has mana issues. Blood Rage has been reworked, increases your attack speed by 50 to 140, and your spell amp by 6 to 24%. That's really good. It drains 2.5 to 3% max health per second. Interesting. Sell for ally hero cast, which provides half attack speed for allies and lasts 8 seconds. Cooldown 14 to 8, and it costs very low 25 to 40. Okay, that's pretty cool. I lost my place. Blood Rage can now be cast without interrupting movement. Thank God. That was really annoying to play. Um, okay, interesting. This makes me think like a 4 Bloodseeker could be a thing. Um, in cases where like they have a weak safe lane, I think you might be able to pull this off. Um, like giving someone spell amp and attack speed is really interesting, right? Like this seems to be really good on Medusa, um, or just like any hero that can afford to lose some HP. That's an interesting thing. Okay. Thirst. Thirst no longer grants attack speed. That makes sense because they just gave it to Blood Rage. I'm glad they didn't have both. Thirst now provides 6, 9, 12, 15% of max health as a heal for creep kills, and 12, 18, 24, 30% for hero kills. That's amazing. For a passive, this is amazing. That is such an incredible spell. Grants half healing if you are within 300 units of a dying enemy creep or hero. So just being within 300 radius of a dying enemy creep is really helpful, right? Because Bloodseeker, especially mid lane actually, he would gain so much if he got a CS from an opponent, but he would lose so much if he missed that CS because he would be out of position. He'd be like right next to a creep, in addition to not getting the creep, in addition to not getting the heal. So he loses more than a normal hero. So this is cool. I like that. Talents. Level 10 talent increased from plus 5 armor to plus 6. Okay. That's, I mean, helpful. Level 10 talent changed from 20 attack speed to 30 blood rage attack speed. So not only is this more attack speed, it also is something that you can cast on allies, which is interesting. So this gives 15 attack speed to allies in addition to the already high base. 15 talent increase from 60 blood rage damage to 75. That's good. It's pure damage, and again, it's amplified by your spell amp that you get from blood rage. Interesting. Bounty Hunter base mana regeneration increased from 0 to 0.5. Okay, I didn't know Bounty had no base mana regen. I'm assuming this means like other than from ints, right? Like heroes have ints that gives them base mana regen, or that gives them mana regen, and then base mana regen is just like their innate stat. Okay. Damage spread reduced. Cool. I like seeing less variance in damage personally. Track mana cost reduced. Level 10 talent changed from 20 damage to plus 40. Janata damage, which is crit, or which is modified by the crit as well in Janata. And then 15 move speed to plus 20. Okay. I mean, it's nice to see some small bounty buffs. I think the hero was like pretty underwhelming in the zoo meta. Um, I never liked playing it. I never liked seeing it on my team. I did enjoy playing like 3 Bounty Hunter against melees. It was fun to play, but I never felt like I could actually win games with it. Yeah. Okay. Brewmaster. Thunderclap no longer has a separate value for creeps. Didn't know it did. Cinderbrew. Cinderbrew mana cost reduced from 80 to 50 to 80. Rescaled from 100 to 280 to 75 to 300. Okay. So it's weaker early, stronger later, which I think is this true? Okay, no, that was kind of the next damage. Okay. Cinderbrew backswing animation time reduced. That's very positive for him because that takes a while to cast. Primal Split Earth movement speed increased from 325 to 330 to 370. Very strong. Primal Split Storm attack damage increased. Okay. Storm mana capacity increased. Okay. So you can cast a lot more spells. And if you get mana burned, it's not like the end of the world anymore. I actually think the Storm Panda was really undervalued last patch specifically, with all the summons. Like Purge does, it's an AoE Purge, right, with like a huge radius. It's like a 500 radius or something, and it does 1,000 damage to summoned units and illusions. And I think that would be really good in the Zoo meta. Am I wrong? Let me know. And Primal Split Fire Attack Backswing animation time reduced from 0.5 seconds to 0.3. Okay, so that'll be a DPS increase. 10 talent increased by 25. Fantastic. Level 25 talent reduced from plus 140% to plus 120%. I don't know what that means. Okay, critical strike damage. So that matters quite a bit. People were playing like right click brewer for a while. I think Matsu was popularizing that, and it was pretty good. But I don't know if this is really impactful. I think the changes to Cinderbrew and Primal Split are pretty good though. I like to see Brew getting a little buffs or a little bit of buffs. I would expect to see this hero more, especially if people are still playing like Lycan and that sort of stuff in this patch. Broodmother Ajigan increased. Great. That's actually a significant amount too. That's annoying. Incapacitating Bite. Slow increased from 16 to 46% to 20 to 50%. Okay, that's not negligible. Spawn Spiderlings. Health increased from 280 to 320, and then magic resistance reduced. Okay, so Spiderlings are less likely or more likely to get nuked down. I'm not sure how that works out effective HP wise, but I'm sure there's cutoffs there. Centaur, one of my favorite heroes. Retaliate no longer has an active component that provides attack damage. Okay, so Retaliate now also returns 20 to 35% of your strength as damage. So Centaur Warrunner has been given an ability called Return. Excellent. Retaliate base damage reduced from 16 to 76 to 15 to 60. Okay, that's significant actually. Retaliate now does half damage to towers instead of full. I'm sad to see that actually because I love Centaur with like a heart in mid game. Just being able to solo towers, I thought that was really cool. But I mean, like I get it, it's also like fucking broken. Um, Double Edge, cooldown reduced from 5 to 4. That's actually really significant, right? Like a 4-second cooldown is so low. That's crazy. Okay, this hero can dish out so much damage. Hoof Stomp cooldown reduced from 22 to 13 to 15 to 12. So you can hoof stomp a lot more in lane. Like 7 seconds off a cooldown is incredible at level 1. That's really significant. So you probably won't get it to level 3 realistically, or level 2 maybe, but that's still like having 1 point is so valuable now. Wow. Okay. Hoof stomp damage increased from 80 to 170 to 100 to 250. Okay, cool. Hoof stomp duration reduced from 2 to 2.75 to 1.7 to 2.6. Okay. So like 0.3 seconds is not negligible or is not negligible, but I think I would rather have more stuns than longer stuns in most cases, especially if they're AoE stuns, but I could be wrong about that. And then base damage increase on the talent by 15, retaliate damage reduced. Okay, that makes sense given it returns your strength now. Overall, I think this is like a huge buff for Centaur. I think you can get you can get 1 point in Hoof Stomp as a value point, and then max Retaliate as you did before, and then max Double Edge next. And I think that would be pretty good. You have a lot more options on Centaur. All right, Chaos Knight. Chaos Strike now has a 30% chance to proc instead of using a cooldown. Okay. I mean, 30% on a crit is pretty strong, right? Like, I think Jugs is 35, but this is still really good. And you have a chance, like, not only is this a 30% chance to crit, but it's also, um, like, you get 70% lifesteal when it's maxed. This is really, really good. This is potentially game winning. Um, this will change games for sure when Chaos Knight is in it. Phantasm, cooldown reduction cooldown reduced from 125 to 75. Oh wait, this is incredible already. Phantasm illusion count reduced from 3 to 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's fair. That's like less good, but just being able to phantasm more is amazing. Um, God, I'm dying. Okay. Illusion outgoing damage increased from 40 to 100 to 100. Okay. So Chaos Knight at level 1 now has one illusion, or at level 6 rather, now has one illusion that does 100% damage, which is really good because Chaos Knight does a lot of damage. And yeah, okay. Phantasm Illusion does no longer have 25% magic resist. Cool, that's fine. Mana cost reduced from 125 to 275 to 75 to 175. Okay, this is so low for such a good ability. This is really nice to see. I've been like Chaos Knight has been missing for a long time. Um, this is good to see. I also I suspect that you can play some kind of like offlane or support Chaos Knight. I think like I'm onto something with that. Just like I was or onto offlane Kunkka like 4 years ago. I just want that to be known. Like I did release a guide for that. And now it's being played a lot in pro games. I told you that hero is broken. Okay, anyway, trust me on Chaos Knight too. Talents. Level 15 talent increased from plus 12% CDR to plus 14%. 25 talent. Okay, cool. 25 talent minus 1.5 seconds chaos strike cooldown to plus 10% crit chance. That is very big. Um, okay, that's a strong talent. Cool. There's so much in this patch. Do I have to break this up into two parts? Let's see. Do I have time? Okay, should be fine. Cool. So Clink's intelligence gain increased from 1.7 to 2.2. That's a lot, actually. Attack point improved from 0.7 to zero point 0.4. Okay, also a lot. Searing arrows. Searing arrow damage increased from 25, 35, 45, 55 to 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, not really significant. Mana cost increased to 12. Okay, so I mean, Clink's overall just has a lot more damage now from the int gain, attack point, and um, Searing arrows damage. I'm really happy to see the attack point, honestly. Okay, Strafe is a basic ability again, grants 110%, or 110, 140, 170, 200 attack speed, and 100% evasion against range attackers. Okay, that's cool. Clinks has a niche now. Instead of just being like this, like wrecking ball, he now has a niche against range heroes. That's really neat. Lasts 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds with 30, 40, or 34 to 22 cooldown. Okay. Skeleton Walk now provides invisibility. Great, it didn't do that before. Hello. And 15% to 16% movement speed. Okay. Does not end invisibility when casting his spells. Good. Lasts 25 to 40 seconds. Okay, that's strong. And then cooldowns 20 to 17 seconds. Neat. Burning Army is now a scepter ability. Alright. Summons 5 skeletons in a 1300 line. Skeletons have 100 health, or 1000 health, but die in 2 hits and deal 30% of your damage. It's like, okay, area control. Death Pact has been reworked and is now his ultimate. Consumes a target friendly or enemy creep, gaining a percentage of its hit points as max health and damage, gains 6 to 14% of the target's current health as damage, and gains 60, 80, 100% as health. Lasts 65. Because they didn't put a units here. Lasts 65 decades. Okay, so it gains current health as damage and gains 100% of it as health. Very interesting. I can't. So this is still Death Pact. I'm pretty sure. Cool. Talents. Um, okay, so to adjust for the old Death Pact thing, they changed the level 20 talent to kills reset Death Pact cooldown. Interesting. Okay. So before that was just like built into Death Pacts, if I remember correctly. All right. I'm not going to talk about the other ones. I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit just because I'm getting short on time. So Rocket Flare vision duration reduced from 10 to 8. That's mean. Why do we have to nerf Clockwork? 15 talent, 12 strength to 1 power cogs hit per kill. That's pretty significant actually. Okay, that's strong. Crystal Maiden, movement speed increased from 275 to 280. Swift as the Wolf of Icecrack. Or whatever the fuck it is. Swift as the Wolves of Icecrack? What did I say? Swift as the Wolf of Icecrack? Okay, that's funny. Freezing field radius reduced from 835 to 810. And then Scepter delay reduced from 2 to 1.75. Okay. I mean, CM Scepter was really good in against like a zoo. Um, I don't know though. I'm not like I don't love the hero. I do like playing her. Um, I don't know if she's amazing though. But she also received a nerf for her talent, so I don't know. But the increased movement speed is really nice. Doesn't go unappreciated. Thruxier, Agi increased from 12 to 18. Wow. Base armor reduced by 1. Okay, so it's offset by the Agi pretty much completely. Vacuum mana cost reduced from 100, 130, 160 to 60, 90. That's really helpful. That's a lot. Damage increased from 50 to 200 to 100 to 250. Okay, again, that's really helpful. Vacuum is like you can skill vacuum at level 4 or level 3 and not feel terrible about it now. Wall of Replica, slow duration increased from 0.75 to 1 second. Okay, cool. Makes your vacuum combo stronger. Level 10 talent changed from 10% evasion to 75 ion shell radius. That's good. 15 talent changed from 100 ion shell radius to ion shell provides 400 max health. That's cool. So this is the fact that it gives max health but doesn't heal means that it's bad against heroes like Lifestealer that do like percentage of max health, right? But it's really strong if you can do that before someone gets bursted and they're like full health. That's really interesting. Cool change. There's a lot more skill to an already high skill hero now. Okay, Dark Willow, Curse Crown radius increased from 325 to 360. This skill was pretty easy to dodge before, so I don't blame them for that. Terrorize, Terrorize Jex. I don't know what Jex means. Return speed increased from 500 to 600. Okay, so you run away faster. That's really annoying, actually. This is huge. That's like a huge buff. So when you fear defensively, or I guess offensively, to like fear allies, um, this like they're running away 100 movement speed faster, which is like that's very significant. Curse Crown Sun Duration talent, cool. That's pretty good. Dazzle, level 10 talent increased mana regen by 0.25, helpful. Shadow Wave heal damage to plus 30. That's really significant because that adds up for every unit, right? Um, okay. Bad Juju armor reduction to 0.5. Okay, cool. Death Prophet, Crypt Swarm, cast point reduced. Love it. I feel like this was already reduced a while ago. Like back when I was playing more. But this is almost instant now, which is really nice. That was one of DP's big problems. So level 20 talent increased from minus 2.5% Crypt Swarm cooldown to minus 3 seconds. Okay, so Crypt Swarm was a 2-second cooldown with a 0.2-second cast point. If you get that talent, that's pretty like freaking good. Holy cow. Okay. Level 25 talent increased to or from point or plus 6 exorcism spirits to plus 8. I feel like that's probably really good, but it's so hard to like know how much damage that is without looking at the math. I still really like the haste one, but I mean, I guess if you're just like a stand and deliver Death Prophet, then that's good. Disruptor, kinetic field, radius increased from 340 to 350. Okay, that's helpful. Glimpse bug with the not continuing the position of dead heroes as the fountain has been fixed. Don't care. Okay. Doom, base armor increased by 1. helpful. I feel like I've seen this like in patch notes a million times over the years. Attack range increased from 175 to 200. That's huge, actually. Devour that's so fucking big. This is one of those things that will go understated, but this is so big. It applies in every single trade, every single time you farm, every last hit you go for. This is like fucking crazy. This is so good. Wow. Okay. Devour gold increased from 2080, 20 to 200 to 50 to 200. Okay, so you get more for one, more for level one Devour. Devour regeneration reduced from 3 to 15 to 2 to 14. I didn't even know it gave regeneration. I'm assuming that's new. Okay, so it gives more gold, less regen in lane. Cool. Scorched Earth backswing animation time reduced. I mean that's like again the backswing is helpful, but like good players will cancel the backswing anyway by inputting a movement command. So this is like this is helpful for like bots, but like I don't really know. I don't really care otherwise. Level 10 talent change from plus 16 Scorched Earth to plus 2 seconds Doom duration. That's helpful, but okay. So basically, they added Doom Duration to level 10 and increased Scorched Earth damage at level 15. This 30 Scorched Earth damage is a lot, because that's every second, right? Drow, base damage spread reduced from 49 to 60 to 51 to 58. So you have lower like peak damage if you get the highest, but higher overall damage. That's cool. Movement speed increased from 285 to 290. That's really helpful, and base armor increased by 1, really helpful. The move speed on Drow is huge, right? Because the hero is so positioning dependent, way more than many other heroes. Love to see that. Actually, dude, Ice Frag is really good at identifying which heroes benefit from movement speed buffs, right? Like Bane, yes, hyper immobile, like needed to have his move speed nerfed a little bit later on. He was hyper immobile, but like had high enough movement speed with that talent to where it was like kind of it felt insane. CM hyper immobile doesn't have any doesn't have any way to reposition, but really benefits from it and needed some love, so he gave her a little bit of movement speed. Drow, same thing. I think Drow was already like pretty good. Um, this isn't gonna send her over the edge or anything, but it will make her better. Okay, level 10 talent increase from 40% gust blind to 50. 20 movement speed to minus 6 second multi-shot cooldown. Okay, I think the multi-shot thing is kind of ridiculous, right?
There's no taming
Let the
me.
battle begin.
Yeah. Okay, so you can have a 14-second multi-shot. That is really good. That spell is already insane, so. Alright, so for the sake of time, I'm going to skip the talents from now on and just look at other stuff. Base strength on Earth Spirit increased from 21 to 22. Great. This hero's strength gain is already, like, fucking insane. Rolling Boulder, collision radius increased from 150 to 160. Okay. Magnetized damage rescaled from 50 to 100 to 40 to 120. Okay, that's cool. Earth Spirit falls off super hard, but has an insane fucking early game. So it's good to see his early game nerfed, but his late game buffed a little bit. That's cool. Enchant Remnant now allows him to target himself and you can kick yourself with Boulder Smash. Okay, so you can like immune yourself and then like kick yourself into an enemy team. That's really interesting. Or immune yourself and run away. This hero is wild. Fissure duration reduced from 8 to 6.57, 7.58. That's sad to see, but I mean, that's really huge, right? Because this affects creep blocking, it affects all kills. Um, I don't know, I feel like Shaker's niche was fissure blocking, but that's sad. I don't like that actually. And then backswing animation time reduced. Again, that's really only relevant for shitties, so don't care. Elder Titan, one of my favorite heroes again. Base strength increased by 2. Fixed Echo Stomp playing the full channel animation if it was canceled during the cast point. That's helpful actually. Before you could get kind of like stuck in it, it was unclear as to whether or not you were echoing if it got canceled. Astral Spirit return speed increased from 800 to 900. Astral Spirit no longer refreshes the current buff when a new spirit is cast and returns before the previous buff expires. Okay, I mean that matters, but it's not huge, I don't think. Um, Ember Spirit Flame Guard damage per second reduced from 30 to 60, 25 to 55. Okay, great. It feels like a placebo to me. Like it doesn't really matter too much. It's just like, hey, Ember's nerfed, right? Flameless. All right, Enchantress, int gain increased from 3.6 to 3.8. This hero had 3.6 int gain. Holy shit, that's so big. And 3.8 is so much bigger than 3.6. That's crazy. All right, turn rate improved from 0.5 to 0.6. Scepter now also provides plus 150 attack range. Turn rate being improved on Ench is so nice, right? Because that hero's, I don't know. It feels like you're playing a Mack truck when you're playing it. It just takes her fucking forever to turn around. Nature's Attendance. Actually, the Scepter providing 150 attack range is interesting, right? Because that combined with her turn rate means she can attack longer already on top of a Dragon Lance, and you can like turn around and sprink away faster. That's cool. Okay. Nature's Attendance heal interval change for 1 second every 0.5. I'm assuming it's the same value. They wouldn't just double her healing, right? Surely. And then movement speed 15 to 20. Awesome. Maleficus damage rescaled from 30 to 105 to 40 to 100. Okay, so Maleficus is better early, weaker late. Great. Time Walk Scepter AoE increased from 250 to 350. Aghanim Scepter is applies a time lock proc to all units on the landing destination. I don't think that's really relevant, but I mean, cool. Grimstroke attack range increased from 550 to 575. That's big. Again, like attack range increases apply on every single attack you make, right? It's not just once. It's not just the one time you get hit in lane. It's when you're going for last hits, pulling, trading. It's really big when a hero gets increased range on their right clicks. Gyro base int increased from 19 to 21. Helpful. Homing missile launch time reduced from 3 to 2.5. Okay, I mean that's cool. Flak cooldown reduced from 20 to 18. This is fucking huge late game. Early on it doesn't matter so much because the skill is like garbage, but late game this is huge, right? Because this is the TI winner skill. But homing missile is interesting too because this spell is like creates a lot of weird pressure, and I think that this spell is actually undervalued, even though it's kind of a meme. But if I also had to put a bet on a hero that could be played as a 4, it would be Gyro. Maybe. That that will I'll like put that into the box of heroes that could be 4s, and if I'm right about it, then I'll take credit. If I'm not, then whatever. All right, Huskar. Agility gain increased from 1.4 to 1.8, and base damage increased by 2. Don't love that. Inner fire knockback reduced from 550 to 400. Okay. Light break no longer deals damage to Roshan. I didn't know it did. So overall, Huskar is like I'd call this kind of a wash. Better in Huskar games, worse in non-Huskar games, it feels like. Cool. Invoker base damage increased. That seems needed. Force Spirit base attack time improved. Also seems needed. Force Spirit Melting Strike no longer has a mana requirement. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's some like passive spell. Invoke no longer triggers spell events like Magic Stick. Great. Level 10 talent change from plus 50 Chaos Meteor contact damage to plus 30% Chaos Meteor damage. Okay, that's actually kind of huge, right? Like, because Meteor does kind of a shit ton of damage. Okay. IO base movement speed increased from 280 to 320. Holy shit. Okay. This hero was already getting like I'm sure you guys have seen the meme videos where people are playing like core IO and they're just like building was it like fucking armlet? Was that it? Or people are playing core IO and right clicking people. I think they're building HOD and it's like getting a harpy or a ghost and just like tethering to the harpy. This makes that better. I don't want to see that in my games. I really don't, but it's also really fun. So you know what? Just play IO every game. Okay, Jakiro, dual breath mana cost increased. Great. Good to see. Not super important though. Ice Path mana cost increased. 90 to 100. Okay, that's good. I don't like Jakiro spamming spells in my lanes. It feels really oppressive. Don't love it, but I'm glad to see it get changed. Omni Slash now provides plus 40 attack speed. Omni Slash attack speed multiplier reduced from 1.7 to 1.6. This is actually really big. This makes level 1 Omni Slash way better. And it like obviously makes the later Omni Slashes better, but like a little bit less good if you have more attack speed because of the multiplier. Illuminate channel duration reduced from 2 to 5 to 2 to 4.1. Okay, that's helpful. So you get to your max damage faster. Will-O-Wisp Flicker no longer drops your orders between each cycle and no longer prevents orders from being queued. Thank God. This is like a nerf to Coddle, but Before you just like couldn't queue orders. I think you could shift. You couldn't even shift queue, right? Because it no longer prevents orders from being queued. So this caused so many like weird mechanical fumbles and blunders that I'm glad to see this go because it's just like a weird. It shouldn't be in the game. No other ability interacts like this. Kunkka. Okay. This hero doesn't need buffs. I don't buff this hero anymore. Please God. It's already
Batting the
getting too much play.
hatches.
Um, Legion Commander, base strength reduced by 1. Thank God, Legion was so overpowered. What the fuck? Dual attack bonus increased from 10 to 26 to 10 to 30. Okay, that's. I feel like I would just take the strength, but I mean, like, if you have a bunch of dual ones, then that could be helpful. Leshrac, base damage increased by 3, and then attack range reduced by 25. Strength gain increased by zero point 0.2. Okay, I think that's actually a wash because Lesh attack range is really helpful in lane, but then not super important later because he builds mana more than int. Pulse Nova, Scepter Lightning Storm interval improved from 1.7 to 1.5. That's huge, actually. I think later on, an Aghanims on Lesh can be quite good. No, that's interesting. Lich is all talents. Lifestealer, minimum base damage increased from 42 to 46. Helpful, for sure. The hero has a hard time last setting. Lina, Laguna Blade damage increased from 450 to 450 to 850 to 500 to 900. So she has a Finger of Death now that doesn't scale. Is on a much shorter cooldown. Cool. Dragon Slave backswing animation. Great. You guys know how I feel about that. Lion, base attack speed increased from 100 to 115. Helpful. And armor increased by 1. This is big, right? Because Lion is one of the supports that if you get in a pub, you just fucking hate your life because you have a Lion against a Rubik or some other like crazy support laner. Your Lion always gets shit on by their 4, and then he doesn't get a blink, and then he doesn't get like any items, and he's just useless, and he feeds. Hopefully this helps a little bit. I think the hero is still like kind of weak, but maybe this will help him get to his like thresholds later. Lone Druid, strength gain reduced. Okay. Savage Roar is no longer duplicate cast on either target that is unable to cast. That's huge. This is a very big nerf. So you can't peel for yourself or your bear. Summon Spirit Bear damage per level is now base damage rather than bonus damage. I'm sure that is relevant, but I can't think of why. I keep clicking and losing my spots. Can I just type Lone? No. Okay. We're going the long way. Backlash damage increased from 10% to 20%. Okay. Spirit Bear Entangling Claws no longer has a special duration for creeps. That kind of sucks for farming, but True Form armor bonus reduced from 10 to 20 to 8 to 12. Okay, so basically they made Lone Druid a lot easier to kill. And yeah, no, he's just a lot easier to kill in general. Like Savage Roar being able to be cast on just the Druid, or just the Bear, and it affecting both units was crazy. This was an insane spell. If one of your units got stunned, then you could just fear and like save them. You could fear on your other one and save them. It was too good, I think. So I'm glad that this is out, and I feel like it'll be a little bit more skill based instead of just being able to press E when you're scared. Okay. Luna base damage increased by 3. Hopefully that's offset. Lunar Blessing rescaled from 15 to 30 to 10 to 34. Okay, so it's worse early. The base damage increase was offset. Lunar Blessing no longer increases armor. That is ginormous. This is a huge Lunar nerf, which she was getting seen a lot, so that's fair. Moonglave's bounce count from 1 to 6 to 3 to 6. Okay, so level 1 Moonglaive is actually like strong now. Moonglave's damage reduction per bounce from 35% to 50. Oh, I understand. Okay, so it's 52% damage reduction to 34% damage reduction. Cool. Um, okay, neat. So yeah, Moonglaves is higher value now, which is nice because you basically would actually. I mean, people have been going like max E, max W, right, with 1 point Q in some cases. So I don't know. I think this is kind of a wash overall. Magnus and power damage rescaled from 10 to 25 to 11 to 32. Okay, that's relevant later. That's pretty good actually. Shockwave so increased, cool. Skewer cooldown reduced from 26 to 28, 22 to 16. Okay, yeah, that's very relevant. This will help a lot in mid game. for setting up kills and like just momentum, keeping things going. You can probably get 2 off in a fight sometimes now. Skier radius increased from 135 to 145. So that's actually really big. That'll correct a lot of errors. Um, Base intelligence increased from 17 to 20 on Mars. Helpful. He has mana issues. Arena blood formation time improved from 0.6 to 0.3. This is because they just nerfed his ability to like blink in, spear, and then arena, or blink in arena and then spear without turning. Um, I'm happy to see that. Mars needed a little bit of help, I think. Medusa base strength increased from 15 to 17. Base int increased from 19 to 23. Okay, so she's a little tankier, has a little bit more mana and mana regen. Split shot primary arrow now has the same damage reduction as the secondary arrows. Interesting. And it can be toggled again. Extra arrow count increased from 3 to 4, so you have more targets, less damage on your main target. And you get bonus range on the secondary arrows, which is also interesting. Damage increased from 30 to 75% to 50 to 80%. Okay, I think this is overall a buff for Medusa, right? Because you're never picking Medusa to like crush a single target. It's always to do like as much damage as possible to the enemy team with your rapier. So this is actually a huge buff, right? You never really cared about your your main target on Medusa taking as much damage as possible. If you are, then why are you playing Medusa? Pick something else. Pick fucking Ursa. Pick Ursa and do damage to the entire enemy team and to your single target actually. Um, this is a huge buff for Medusa. This is one of the biggest changes of the patch actually. Mystic Snake. Cast point reduced from 0.4 to zero point 0.2, huge. Cooldown reduced from 11 to 10. Mystic Snake is also a really good spell. Like this is, yeah, Medusa got huge buffs. That's good to see. Mirana, Moonlight Shadow, movement speed reduced from 15 to... Okay, I didn't even realize it gave movement speed, to be honest. That's not why the spell's used, but cool. That's helpful. Um, Helpful against Mirana anyway. Sacred Arrow cooldown increased from 18 to 15 to 19 to 16. I'm surprised she's getting nerfed. Leap damage increased from 550 to 575, and then 65 leap attack speed. Okay. I'm surprised to see this, but I think this is pretty negligible. Monkey King base armor increased by 3. That is so much armor. Jingu Mastery. Damage reduced from 60 to 150 to 40 to 130. Okay, so that offsets the crazy armor increase he just got. Hit tracker duration reduced from 10 to 7 to 10. So it got the Fury Swipes treatment. I think that impacts Monkey's Lane a lot actually, but this hero I'm not super familiar with just because like I didn't play when he was released. He's still kind of foreign to me. Wukong's command attack interval improved from 1.2 to 1.1. That'll be like a huge DPS increase though, right? Like if everything is getting hit by um, your monkeys, because like they're all benefiting from the attack interval. Okay, Naga Siren, movement speed increased by 10. This is a huge buff. Again, Naga Siren is one of those heroes that like is gated so much by movement speed. She was already really fast with 320 movement speed, but now her keep in mind like her illusions also benefit from this, right? So like you can put your illusions, you can cast your illusions in mid and send them to side waves already. Now you can do this even quicker. Um, every time you send your illusions to camps, this is affected. Like this is huge. This is a GPM increase directly for Naga basically. Ensnare cast point reduced from 0.6 to 0.5, really helpful. Long spell. Song of the Siren Scepter upgrade now also reduces cooldown by 20 seconds, so you get a 1 minute. Song of the Siren, cool. Okay, I really have to wrap this up soon. My apologies. Profit, base armor reduced by 2. Good. This combined with the Orca nerf should be enough, honestly. Nature's Call, Treant Gold, XP bounty reduced from 16 to 20 to 8 to 12. Okay. Good. Profit was too good. He's too brain dead of a hero. You can just run at people and buy an Orchid and kill them. His laning phase was too safe. I like this. This is good to see. Necrophos, nothing, basically. Nightstalker, Nyx, my guy. Impale damage increased from 80 to 260 to 100 to 280. Okay, that's helpful. Better in lane. Ogre Magi, agi gain reduced from 1.9 to 1.5. Excellent. So he has less armor, less brain dead. Unrefined Fire Blast, mana cost from 60% to 45%. This is a good spell. Axe is good on Ogre. Don't rush it though. Unless you can. Unless it's the game for it, in which case rush it. Omni Knight, base movement speed increased from 30 or 300 to 305. Very helpful. And also, yeah, okay. So Ice Frog and I are on the same page here. So Purification cast range increased by a lot. Actually, that's huge, by 150. And then Degen Aura no longer reduces attack speed, but it's increased by by 75. The ranges. So basically, if you increase Omni Knight's movement speed, right, you're increasing his ability to get into range to degen, which in turn like kind of stacks with itself, right? Because degen aura slows attacks or slows movement speed. Um, so this is effectively more um than 5 movement speed. I don't know if you're catching my drift or not. Leave a comment if you think I'm stupid. Purifying Flames, cast point reduced from zero point 0.3 to 0.15. Okay, cool. OD, hate this hero. Essence Flux, slow duration increased from 1.75 to 2. I didn't know that spell slowed now. Okay, all abilities is slow. Neat. Active duration increased from 6 to 8. Arcane Orb mana cost reduced from 110, 200 to 80. Okay. Overall, huge mana buffs for OD, and it makes your E quite strong, or much stronger than it used to be anyway. Astral Imprisonment now has an AoE cast indicator that shows the damage area. Imprisonment cast range increased from 225 to 450 to 300 to 450. Okay, so the spell is significantly better at level 1. That's good. And it's easier to use because it has a damage indicator. Spell lifesteal increase, whatever. Base damage increased by 3 on PA. That's helpful. The hero does no damage early on. Blur Scepter cooldown reduced from 12 to 10. Don't know what a Receptor is. Causes Blur to have instant cast time and applies a Dispel. Anytime you get a hero kill, your abilities are refreshed. Wow. Okay, cool. That's big actually. That's really big. Phantom Lancer. Attack damage spread reduced. Okay. That's helpful, right? Because sometimes PL feels like he does a million damage, and sometimes it feels like he does nothing, so this makes a lot of sense. Spirit Lance damage increased. Cool. Stronger later when it doesn't matter, when PL is just going to kill you with his legions. Neat. Phoenix Fire Spirit's mana cost increased flat. This hero needs nerfs, so this is good. Supernova hit recount scaled from 5 to 11 to 6 to 10. Okay, I think this is actually fine, right? Because level 1 egg is absolute dog shit. Even though the hero is just like in general amazing. Um, her mid game is fine, and her late game is a little bit nerfed. And late game is when she was like the most obscene, where it was 11 hits to kill an egg. This hero was a nightmare to play against, and still will be. But it's good to see her nerfed a little bit early game anyway. Puck talents, cool. Pudge, base health regen increased from 1 to 2, strength gain reduced from 4 to 3.2. That's stronger in lane, but like huge strength gain nerfs. I don't know why you would nerf Pudge. I guess you're buffing him elsewhere. Meat Hook cooldown reduced from 27 to 12 to 21 to 12. Okay, Hook is... You lose 6 seconds at level 1, which is nice. Rot Slow increased from 11 to 32 to 14 to 32. That's really huge for chasing people, actually. Oof Pudge, maybe. Flesh Heap, strength gain increased from 1... Okay, that's why they nerfed his strength gain, because they buffed Flesh Heap. So you benefit from doing well on Pudge, which that's always been Pudge's thing anyway, so like they're just increasing that more. I don't know if this will fix like the hero's innate laning issues, but I mean like it'll help certainly. Quap, please nerf. Strength gain reduced from 2.3 to 2.2. Excellent. Shadow Strike mana cost increased from 110 to 110 to 140. Ugh, my voice is like cracking because I'm talking so much. I'm not used to doing videos like this. Shadow Strike initial damage reduced from 50 to 125 to 30 to 120. Okay, that's helpful early on. Honestly, the initial damage was not the main reason the spell was good, but I'll take anything I can get for Quap. This hero was just too good. Then mana cost increased on Sonic Wave in the mid and late game. Okay, that's helpful. I think this hero is still going to be top tier, but that's fine. Razor strength gain increased from 2.6 to 2.8. Agi gain increased. Cool, hero needed it. Plasma field cooldown reduced. Cool. Static Link no longer disarms you, nor does invisible attacks through the link, but instead allows you to attack while moving, similar to Wind Ranger. That's helpful, right? Because now you can kill squishies when you're linking the carry. So you can kind of like neuter the carry while you kill their allies. That's neat. I like the option to do that. Storm Surge no longer provides movement speed. Probably a good thing. Movement speed increased on yourself. Okay. Eye of the Storm no longer has a passive component. Cool. Eye of the Storm damage per strike increased from 40 to 70 to 60 to 90. Um, okay, that's a huge DPS increase for Eye of the Storm. I think. I don't know what it turns out to, but it's also more damage on Magic Immune because the damage per strike is physical. Rubik, base attack speed increased and damage spread reduced, so you got the lion treatment. Fade Bolt reduction changed from a fixed value for heroes and creeps to 10 to 34% base damage. Fade Bolt damage increased from 80 to 320 to 100 to 325, so just a flat damage increase on Fade Bolt. And then mana cost reduced as well. This hero was already insane in lane. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why that was buffed. Caustic Finale has been reworked. Attacking an enemy now places a debuff that slows the enemy by 10 to 25%. For 5, if the target dies during the 5-second debuff, an explosion deals 70 to 130 plus 10 to 22% of the target's max health in a 500 AoE. This makes Sand King pretty good against tanks, which is neat because you'll AoE do their damage or their health and damage. Okay. Shadow Fiend base damage increased by 4. Excellent. He needs a lane buff for sure. And this helps him get to his thresholds where he starts becoming a hero. Necromastery soul count changed from 12 to 36 to 11 to 20. Necromastery damage per soul changed from 2 to 1, 2, 3, 4. And Necromastery no longer grants an extra amount for hero kills. Okay, I think this is all good. And it will help Shadow Fiend get elsewhere in the game. Shadow Shaman, base int increased from 19 to 25, with base damage unchanged. That's a lot of int. But he has the same base damage. That's helpful for him casting spells, right? Mass Serpent Wings bounty spread reduced from 26 to 30. Okay, it doesn't matter. Silencer, arcane curse damage increased from 16 to 40 to 16 to 46. Okay, it's good later. Global silence CDR, 130 to 100. This is huge, right? Because global is like one of the best spells in the game. So having it up 30 seconds less or 30 seconds faster is nice. Corrosive Haze armor reduction increased from 8 to 18 to 10 to 20. This is how it was when I played. I didn't know they changed it. That's neat though. Helps Slardar. Slark base attack speed reduced from 120 to 115. Good. Scatter Blast now also slows attack speed by 100. That's a shit ton. I mean, if you're standing in the shotgun, then like you're punished even more. Low Shredder no longer reduces enemy attack speed. Okay, so they just changed that. Low Shredder now reduces armor by 1 per attack for 4 seconds. Okay, very cool. So it's up to 6 armor, right? Low Shredder damage reduced from 35 to 80 to 20 to 80. Okay. Sniper shrapnel damage reduced. Thank God. I don't even care what the values are. Just tell me it's reduced. It's reduced later. Cool. Assassinate Scepter stun duration reduced from 1.5 to 1 to 1.5. Okay, helpful. Spectre base health regen reduced. Shadow Step can now target spell immune units. Man, my voice is like destroyed. Ugh, man. Okay. Haunt illusions no longer have a fixed 400 move speed. Okay, so that's a nerf. Haunt illusions no longer have a 1 second delay in acting. That's good. Desolate damage increased. Search area reduced 500 to 425 and no longer reduces vision. Okay, this is really good, right? Desolate was just a dogshit spell. It was so hard to use, so they increased the value and increased how often it'll proc. Spirit Breaker, Charge of Darkness, cast point reduced from 0.47 to 0.3. Okay, that's helpful. There were a lot of cases when you were playing Spirit Breaker where you would cast your Charge of Darkness and then just like it would go away, or like your target would leave vision and you wouldn't be able to get it off. So that's cool. Storm Spirit agi gain increased. Okay, helpful late game. Ball Lightning travel cost per 100 units reduced to some math, so he has more mana and more attack speed and armor late game. Base movement speed on Sven increased from 315 to 325. Again, I've talked about movement speed so much. This is amazing. This is so good for Sven. like a right-clicking hero. Stormhammer Dispel talent is now available to target cyclone units and dispels it off. It's pretty good. Warcry no longer provides bonus damage. Interesting. Warcry movement speed is now provided for allies as well. Good. Movement speed bonus reduced from 10 to 22 to 8 to 20. Okay. Alright, so it's a nerf. Warcry mana cost reduced from 60 to 30, 40. Okay, so it's easier to use early. Yeah, that makes sense. Great Cleave distance increase from... Okay. God Strength no longer provides strength. Okay, makes sense. Bonus damage increased from 80 to 160 to 110 to 210%. And then duration is increased to 40. Holy shit. Okay, so you have a lot of uptime on God Strength now. Like, you can refer to it as uptime. Overall, I think this is a huge buff for Sven. TA, meld armor reduction, rescaled from 2468 to 5678. Meld cooldown increased from 6 to... Okay. So it does more damage, and she can use it less early. Buff for TA. Terrorblade, meta no longer reduces your movement speed. Didn't know that was a thing, but cool. Tidehunter, base strength increased by 2. Good. Kraken Shell damage block increased. Good. The hero is pretty weak, but he's a stronger laner now, which is nice. Timbersaw base strength increased and mana regen increased as well. I think the same thing about Timbersaw, honestly. He was only good in cases where like Timber was really good. And he was dog shit otherwise. Tiny base health increased, or health regen increased. Tusk duration increased. That's interesting. Okay. Tree grab no longer slows Tiny by 30. Now is a 5 charge limit. Unit bonus damage increased from 10 to 40 to 25%, so better early. Tree grab building damage increased from 20 to 110 to 90 to 180. Okay, that's fucking huge. Tiny's always been good at killing buildings, but that's good. Splash damage increased to 100% at level 4. Okay. Grow bonus damage rescaled. Okay, I think Tiny is significantly better now. This hero was like pretty weak for a while. Leech Seed is now an enemy target spell again. Okay, deals damage. So is a target enemy. Okay, cool. I mean, before it was like amazing against people in lane, but Eye in the Forest now has 3 charges with a 40-second replenish time. That's strong, actually. I don't know what it was before, but this is good on its own. Tusk, base armor increased by 1. Snowball damage per ally increased. Okay, helpful for Tusk in lane, but it's not anything to write home about. Base armor is important, though. Underlord, attack range increased. Again, talked about that a lot this patch. Atrophy Aura no longer provides permanent bonus damage. Okay, that's fair. And it's just rescaled to give you more per creep. Cast point reduced on Firestorm. It's helpful. AoE increased as you increase the level, and then Firestorm debuff no longer ignores Ancients. Interesting. Okay, Pit of Malice cooldown reduced. Okay, that's helpful for Pit Lord again. It's not a hero you saw a lot, so. Undying Flesh Golem debuff no longer deals damage per second, nor increases damage zombies do. Now increases all damage the target takes. Wow. Okay, so Flesh Golem increases damage in a radius around Dirge by 35%. That seems fucking crazy, but maybe I'm wrong. Ursa, Earthshock slow reduced from 10 to 55 to 10 to 40%. Okay, neat. I mean, Ursa nerfs are much needed, right? And then ult increased cooldown at level 1 by 20. Really helpful again. I'm glad to see this hero is nerfed a little bit, but he's also not gutted. Like, he's just a little bit weaker. Wave of Terror vision area increased from 300 to 350. Okay, cool. Base movement speed increased from 275 to 280 on Veno. Poison Sting no longer reduces HP regen. Thank God, it was so annoying. And then Poison Sting damage is increased to accommodate that. So he's going to end up doing like about the same damage. Plague Ward's health increased from 75 okay to 120 at level 1. That's significant actually. Scepter cooldown reduced. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter really. Viper base damage increased and int increased. So hero has mana issues and last hitting issues early on. This is huge. Visage attack projectile speed increased, helpful. Soul Assumption mana cost reduced, again helpful. Nothing amazing though. Void Spirit Resonant Pulse increased from 16. Okay, cool. Shadow Word range increased. That's good. This will be helpful for Warlock late game to heal his teammates or do damage, I guess. Shikuchi speed increased later. Time lapse. Scepter cooldown increased. That's probably good. And cast range reduced by a lot. That's probably good. I think this was too good for 4 Weaver. It was too much of a game winner. Okay, don't care. Winter's cooldown or Winter's Curse cooldown increased by 10 seconds. It's probably good. Wyvern is seen a lot. Wraith King base damage increased. Vampiric Aura no longer provides attack damage. Sorry, one moment. Okay. Vampiric Aura no longer provides attack damage or self bonus mechanics. Lifesteal increased from okay, it just increased by a significant amount, 12% at level 4, and has a half effect on ranged heroes. Okay, so it no longer gives damage, which is probably a good idea, honestly. It felt too good when it was good before, but okay. Mortal Strike skeleton attack damage increased from 30 to 35 to 35 to 40. Okay, I think that's like nothing, but I mean, cool. I guess actually if you have a lot of skeletons, then this is like not terrible, right? Zeus movement speed increased from 300 to 310. Arc lightning damage increased from 70 to 145. Mana cost 90 to 135 to 125 to 140. Thunder God's Wrath cooldown increased from 90 to 120, and then damage increased from 300, 250 to 450, and then 300, 500. Okay, and then Nimbus cooldown increased. Okay, so Nimbus was Zeus's best spell, right? But overall, he sees like a slight damage increase with higher cooldowns and higher mana costs, and he is more survivable early because of the move speed. Okay, I think Zeus is fine. I think this will make his early game a little bit stronger, but he's not just going to spam you with lightning bolts, which is nice because that was really fucking annoying. And yeah. Okay, so sorry I had to rush this a little bit. Still like a fucking hour-long video, as all of my videos are. But yeah, thanks for watching if you made it this far. I really appreciate it. I don't know how many more videos I'm going to make in the future, but I've been playing Dota. I've been liking it. We'll see, right? Let me know in the comments if you want me to start coaching again or if you're interested in coaching. If you've made it this far, I'd imagine if you sat through me talking about this shit and just rushing, then you're probably interested. But um, yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. I might make a life update soon. But yeah, thank you. Really appreciate you guys.